Namaste. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is the final tarot card of the year reading for 2026. And it feels kind of special that this circle is now complete and we can go back and look at these readings and build connections. And this is the first year that I've used a different deck for every reading, and I've tried to honor the energy of the deck to match the theme of the reading. And for the most part, I think it's gone pretty well. So this is the Hermit, and let's just reflect for a moment about the Hermit. So 2025 was the year of the Hermit. And it'd be really interesting. Sometimes I do go back and review readings just to go back and Hermit in a Hermit year. If anybody had that experience, I'd be really curious to know how your year went. But now we're bringing the Hermit forward, almost. I don't know if we're picking up the pace of the wheel, or we're turning the wheel in a different direction. But there is a sense of, for me, something quite exciting in this journey. And while it is an inward journey, and that can definitely be reflected in the outer world as journeys, it feels more present. It feels more like it has something to do here for others, with others, supporting others. Maybe even mentoring others to understand the importance of journeying within. Quite simply is that. Good morning to Mary Beth and Clevis. Hello again. So why Pagan Otherworlds? Well, Pagan Otherworlds has a lot of space to wander. It is not crowded with color. There are valleys and mountains, rocks to sit upon. I just feel like it's a beautiful landscape for the Hermit to explore. We are in this really dynamic energy on this day. This is being recorded on the 18th day of January 2026. It is just before the new moon in Capricorn, and there's a lot of planetary energy that is with us at this time. And I wonder, with Mercury being the ruler of Virgo, the Hermit being the card for that sign, and Mercury being so close to us at this time, how that's going to play into this reading. This is such a lovely, lovely card stock. Okay, let's do this. So the Hermit wasn't in the pile of swords, which is powerfully connected to the energy of Mercury, I feel. And it's not here upon this earth. So it's either in, and it would make, well, I wasn't thinking as I went to the swords pile first. We began this journey in the water pile, so why would we not finish it in the water pile? And the Hermit being in the water, reminding us how important it is to continue to allow that cleansing, healing, processing of the emotional journey would make a great deal of sense. We've had a lot of fire in this series as well, too. The Fool is here, and the Tower, and the World, and the Emperor, and the Hierophant. But no Hermit. The Hermit's not here. Wow, wow, wow. Strength is here. Death. Hermit is in the pile of fire. Okay, so let's process that. I did say that I felt like this was a more active hermit, a hermit that had a purpose, something to do. And so perhaps we can reflect on that bit of intuition. Loving the card on the bottom, important card of I feel like it's a card of pause in the suit of fire, where we can take a moment to reflect on balance, on the process so far. So that's kind of a nice card to be sitting there. Queen of Swords is right next to it. Ace of Wands. All right. There is just a lot of majors in this pile. Wow. Okay, so we're going to go to Hermit, which is right up near the top, and the Page of Swords and the Three of Swords are on either side of the Hermit. Page of Swords looks like he's walking up behind the Hermit and ready to swing wildly, and the Hermit faces this important card of expansion. So let's just try to build a story of all the keywords, right, that you know for Jupiter. 3 is a card of growth and expansion, creativity. It's a card of growth of the element of air. Something is coming together. Something is coming to fruition. And the points here help us to, again, there's this aspect of growing into the heart space by letting it bleed, right? So there's a quality of letting go, of processing. And this card always makes me think of the steps of the grieving process. Growth through grieving. Growth through grieving. Growth through loss. The Hermit is wandering right into it, completely facing it. So this is your first card, 3 of Swords. It's really an important card to sit with. And maybe to make a list of how can I expand into the heart space I wonder if there are a number of, um, and this happens all the time when I'm talking to people. Oh yeah, I've dealt with that. I've dealt with that. Yeah, oh, that was a long time ago. But there are bits and pieces of things that never really quite were resolved. Does it matter? What is this? What is this about? Well, it's about wandering through life, not bumping into the same lessons again and again because we didn't fully process it. And of course, each time we're not going to fully process it. But I feel like the Hermit is asking you to go forth courageously. The Hermit feels a bit like what's that expression? Spiritual gangster, kind of Knight of Wands energy. So yeah, the Hermit's feeling a little fiery here. Ace of Pentacles. King of Cups. That's an interesting trio. Look at how the gift. What is the gift? What is the gift? The gift is in the completion of the process. King of Cups has wandered through all of this before and back again. And the King of Cups has the strength to look back at the gift of the Three of Swords. What did you miss along the way? What opportunities were there to have grown or shifted a way of thinking when you danced through something a little too lightly or a little too quickly because you were too busy or you didn't want to talk about it, deal with it, face it, something like that? This is, wow, it's there's a gift in the grieving. And I'm thinking of Mary Beth and this card for 2026. And remember, this is a card of expansion. This is a very dynamic energy. And this will perhaps bring this theme very present into your work for 2026. It will be mirrored in clients, friends, family, so that you can really wrap your head around the potential, the intensity of the potential transformation of this energy. Six of Cups. Which way do I put this? Six of Cups. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go home. Go home. That energy of the Six of Cups is held within the back body of the King of Cups. The back body is where we hold the grief, where we hold and carry our challenges. The hump that forms on the back, the fat on the back, the tight rib cage. And there's something here that says that the healing is so many layers here, but okay, so 6, we had a 6 on the bottom of the pile, and then here's this important 6 here. We had 6 of fire on the bottom of the pile, and here's the 6 of water, its counterpart. 6s take us into Tiferet, into the heart space, which is the element of air. And while Virgo Hermit is very much wandering on the earth, it is an earth sign, this mercurial quality. What do I want to do with this? I'm just going to hold that thought. But 6 of Cups is seeking balance with the water. And it's drawing us into that place of contentment and peace in the heart. So the heart shows up as the first card, and the energy of the heart chakra, the central Sephira on the Tree of Life, Tiferet, holds the space, right, in this bottom of pile of cards, and then comes in here to sort of complete this first part of this reading. So I would say that your lesson, your the place where the energy is going to be most productive in your soul journey in this year is in sort of taking the heart apart, really exploring some of those stories that you told yourself. I don't believe that, I guess talk therapy has a place, but rehashing the same thing over and over and over can often just feed the old way of thinking. This is asking us to do this differently. We want to expand into it. It's wanting to break it open, find a deeper understanding. Now, the reason for going home is that a lot of these experiences, stories, patterns, karmas started in childhood. And there are processes, lessons, tendencies that began as a young child. I feel like this wants to take you back to help you understand the connection between something unresolved in the distant past and something that has caused strife now in the present. And if you're able to put that thread, draw that line there, you're going to understand it in a different way. Queen of of Wands, Death, Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands, Death, Nine of Cups. So nines connect beautifully with the Hermit. Now, look at the way that it's almost as if Death and the Queen of Wands are in a dance with one another. Death also faces the direction of reflection, of going back, and the Queen of Wands carries you forward. So there is I like that word, dance. There's a dance to the resolution. There's a dance to the uncovering. There's a going back and a going forth, and there's a bit of an ebb and flow to this understanding, which ultimately brings you to this place of, you pick your word, but the Nine of Cups is such a sweet card. It is the fulfillment, and it is the right. It's the central decan of Pisces. It's a Jupiter decan. It's a Jupiter ruled sign. It is even more expanded being here in this particular year, because we have, in the way that I'm interpreting it, the wheel has the Jupiter card in the center of your reading. And it is the Hermit 9 walking this path to fulfillment of your emotional journey. Hi, Scott. Welcome. So this is pretty exciting. I think you're going to feel a lot through this experience. And yet, I don't think anything on the other side is going to look as it did last year or the year before. When I use the word dance between the Queen of Wands and Death, and I'm smiling, I think this is I said, remember this was all in the fire pile? And the Hermit is going to have to be quite, this feels a little bit out of character for the Hermit. And I don't want to use the word aggressive, but active. Choose some other fiery adverbs. Dynamic, forthright. And I'm thinking of the Hermit counseling others on their inner journeys. There is no not doing this. The Queen of Wands is an initiator. She is the queen who rules Aries and this place of martial energy and new beginnings. And the Queen of Wands picks up her story in the Ten of Cups and takes us through the beginning of, spring, 2 and 3 of Wands. She you might interpret that Death is going to destroy the Queen of Wands, the way they're facing each other, but it feels very much like one of those beautiful, I'm thinking of the ballet, and I'm thinking of a particular dance where it's not just a love story. There's confrontation, and they play passionately. It's very passionate. It's very passionate. And uncovering this and revealing this and processing all this is an important part of understanding what your fulfillment of happiness is. So go back to the beginning and look at this. this gift, right? This gift in the Ace of Pentacles is one of truly feeling and opening. I think opening would be a great word for you as well, too. There's your Mercury card. 8 of Wands, first decan of Sagittarius. Strength, no surprise. And Lovers, wow. Okay. So these three majors, death, strength, and lovers. Death, strength, and lovers. Lovers as your 10th card. Lovers as the card that is like the 1 and the 10 of the 3 of swords, piercing the heart, opens the space to the contentment that one finds in the I can actually feel my physical heart right now speaking to this reading. Something to this effect. And the strength card is speaking to this, and this card here is also connecting loudly. Like I said before, there is no not doing this. You are responsible for your happiness. And I feel that there's a piece of something somewhere that you held on to that said, if I just sit back, all will be well. Spirit, God will take care of all of this. It doesn't matter what I do. And I think where I started with this was, and maybe it was in the previous reading, there's a cultivation. You are creating an environment where you feel content. That's the only thing you need to do in this life, is to work with these small little shifts so that you can find and feel the strength and own the strength of your divine feminine energy, and allow the softness and the power of your divine masculine energy to support that. And when the Lover's card is at its highest frequency, there is no you and me. There's just this idea of oneness. Just like in that strength card, there's this concept of oneness with my animal nature and my human nature. So why have we gone here? Like I've said with many of these readings, the crux of the reading lies in the first few cards. And I really feel touched that that fourth card was the 6 of Cups, because it confirms for me everything that I know about processing big stuff. And that is that there was a lesson way back when that wasn't understood, got skipped over. And so while these cards are laid down 1 through 10 in a clockwise circle, this is a complete interwoven mandala of a story for you for 2026. The Hermit unusually showing up in the fire pile says that I'm wondering and I'm supporting you outside of my comfort zone, saying to you that there are actions that must be taken in order for this to be realized, for you to find yourself at a place of contentment, love of self, contentment in relationship. You're not going to find peace and harmony and contentment in relationship if you don't process the old stuff. And there's a key here. The key to that is in something, and it's like you can, I don't like the word I don't like the verb deal, but let's just use it for sake of simplicity. You deal with, you process, you meditate upon, you journal upon something that happened in your childhood, and you work through that. And it's like there's this ripple effect. It takes care of everything else. You don't have to deal with every single relationship, every single loss. By healing one, you energetically touch the others in a very healing way. So, courageously get into your stuff this year. Often, the Hermit will show up as a mentor, someone to follow. And it makes me, for me, it builds in this connection of the Hermit often holds up a lantern. And sorry, this might be a bit of a stretch for some, but the wheel is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, in the school of thought that I follow, Jupiter is the guru planet, right? Guru literally means dispeller of darkness. Dispeller of darkness. So the guru holds up a bright light. Then you're working with the energy of the Hermit, who also holds up a bright light. So you've got these, and then you have this King of Cups over here. You've got all these advisors who are showing you the light, who are showing you the way. So pay attention to messages, pay attention to invitations. They will show you the way. You're going to have some year. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave it at that for today, and I look forward to your message. And I feel like sometimes these messages are even better when you come back in a month or in a couple of months and say, Sadhana, I've listened to this again, and now I'm understanding where this is going and how I'm going to be processing all of this. So thanks for future comments and support as always. Have a lovely rest of your day and new moon blessings. Take time to sit in the creation of your intentions for this year ahead. Blessed be, and namaste.